I don't want to create a controversy about who invented photography between France and England, between Albert and Daguerre. But I just wanted to come back to a point you make about not mentioning technique in what you select in your collection. In France, photography has been recognized by the Academy of Science in the middle of the 19th century, and has been recognized by the Academy of Arts in 2008. Don't you think that technique is inherently part of the creative choice of the artist, not only the paper, but the technique itself, as Christine was mentioning it, and that might be specific to photography compared to other arts, and I think it should be recognized as such.
No, I think you misunderstand me. I didn't say that we don't respect technique or that it's not important. It's obviously hugely important and underpins the very nature of the work and its meaning. But as an institution, we don't collect, in a way, technical history. And the two other principal collecting institutions in this country include the Science Museum, which is the National Media Museum in Bradford, which does collect both the technical paraphernalia around photography and does think very much about the technical history of the medium. So all I'm just saying is that our point of view is different. That's not to say that we don't think it's terribly important or doesn't underpin an artist's choice or the nature of the work. But it's something that we don't foreground.
No, I got this point, and I agree with you that the artistic choice prevails by no means. But as part of the knowledge about one particular piece of art that you collect, where it's photography, the technique could be an information that should be released to the public.
No, I think it should be. And when we put the Bruce Davison portfolio up, it was one of the things that we rectified very early on, was to add a text about the technical nature of the work and why it was, a portfolio made 20 years after the original images were taken. But what I'm saying is that as an institution, we don't flag that technical information up on our website, and we probably should. It's just indicative of the history of our collecting and the way we are. I mean, if you look up a painting, it says painting on canvas. It doesn't tell you that it's an acrylic or an oil painting. And I think probably we should move to a position where we do give more information about the technical basis of the medium and the support.
I was really pleased to hear Francis say that Tate are uninterested in collecting sitar prints or pigment prints or whatever they are. And I'm concerned by this decision in France, actually, because you wouldn't tell a painter to paint on canvas rather than paper because it's going to last longer, or you wouldn't tell someone to use a particular type of pencil because it's going to last longer. And I think it's very important to recognise that a pigment print and a sitar print are very different objects. Peter used quite definitely, distinctly, the word object. And I think that decision of the photographer, artist, whatever, is very, very important and should be respected. And I, for one, wouldn't want to be told by somebody that I'll only buy your work if you print it like this. So I think, in a way we have to not exactly make a stand, but I think we shouldn't all rush off and make work in a different way that doesn't really suit us just because we think someone might buy it. Because actually we're hearing very different messages from the collecting market.
Or maybe
but it's still not. The collectors are still not convinced.
Maybe you misunderstood what Francis was saying, because I got the impression Francis was actually saying at the Tate. I got the impression, maybe I misunderstood something, but it's been clarified here. I understood what Francis was saying was at the Tate, that intentionality, and therefore the medium which was appropriate at the inculcation stage, invention stage of the work, is something that Tate is prepared to take very seriously indeed, and to put a lot of energy into trying to respect, but that there are inevitably certain situations in which, as with Baldessari, the work begins to disappear, and therefore perhaps putting that in deep storage or in a secure place where it can last as long as possible at least, and then putting out into the public domain a copy which perhaps is more stable, does seem to make a lot of sense. So you know, to my ears, that sounded like a very sensitive position that the text was assuming. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were arguing with that.
You did say this. You know,
I think we're all on the same page.
Yeah, but there's no disagreement anywhere. Okay, time's moving on. Any more final questions, perhaps, on the floor? Go ahead. Red jumper.
Perhaps just referring to the festival itself, I was just wondering what the future holds for the works printed specifically for the festival.
Good question. I mean, we haven't actually finalised whether we're going to give the work back to the photographers. If we do, we'll work it out. If they don't want it, and with some other things, we might put it in the bin.
We'll give it to the Tate.
Oh, that's a good idea. No, I mean, to be honest, it's just been a bit of a panic getting everything up, so we haven't thought about how we're getting it down. But the whole point is that, you know, this is being produced in-house, you know, and of course, photographers, if they want them, they can have the prints. But we don't know, there might be spittle all over them because people are so excited about looking at their photographs. So we have to sort of take a position at the end of the festival. Okay, thank you.